Hello, I'm Chuck Phillip, and welcome to A Christmas Southern Story. Back in the 60s and 70s, pretty much all these communities from Spanish Fort all the way to Fairhope are kind of intertwined. And the reason for that being is because the Spanish Fort Elementary School only went up to like the 6th grade. And so from there you went to Daphne Middle School, and then from there to Daphne Intermediate School, and then from there to Fairhope High School, unless you went to Christ the King or Bayside Academy. In my case, I went to organic school. And so we weren't in a city back then. We didn't become a city until the 90s. And so we participated quite a bit in the Daphne Christmas parades and also in Fairhopes as well. And so we were just really more of a tight-knit type of community all the way along the Eastern Shore as a result of that. But we did do some Christmas stuff here in Spanish Fort, and George Fuller Jr., he was the son of George Fuller Sr. He was a real cool cat. He was. I considered him Santa Claus all year long because anytime I needed extra spending money, if I wasn't out trying to find these 32-ounce returnable bottles to get cash, I would walk in his office and he would give me something to do. And often it was more of a charity thing from him to do it for me because I really wasn't doing too much. And basically he would put us out there, and this is a picture of me and Greg Pierce. He actually took this photograph. We would go around and pick up trash, and we'd bring the trash bags to him. He would pay us based on how much trash we picked up. And all of us really loved him. He was just a real outgoing personality. Also played the Easter Bunny, and he also played Santa Claus, too. A lot of people did not know that, including me when I was really young. I had no idea it was him. But he did a great job of being Santa Claus, and like I said, he was Santa to many of us all year long. And so these parades, Daphne had them, and I went to the Daphne Play School back in the real early 60s, and I was hoping I would find myself in one of these wagons up there, but I could be in it, just don't see myself. But I was in one of these at sometime back in the early 60s, and I remember quite well because it was one of these parades I was in that it got so cold that my face cheeks just cracked. It got real chapped, and I probably would have never remembered had it not been for that. But they did this every year, and I think they may still do it some. I haven't kept up with this over time. And then Fairhope had their celebrations as well. And, when I got old enough, I started playing in the denim band. Of course, I've been playing in band since the 70s, but I started with Terry Goins in the denim band around 85. And we played the Fairhope Fireman's Ball every year at Christmas time. And so, back in those days, everybody knew everybody for the most part, coming back up this hill. And that's one thing that we did back as a community in the 60s and 70s. We also decorated too. And the Riviera Utilities was one of the ones that would come and do this as well. And they would put up, all kinds of ornaments on the flag poles and also on the street lamps out there. Now, they also put a Christmas tree right on top of the lifeguard stand here at the Spanish Fort Pools, which I pretty much lived there, all summer long. When the gates opened, I was there. When it closed, I left. And then we had the garden club, and, they were pretty much a real active group back then. They were really active, had a lot of members. And if you want to see some of those books, put them on the Facebook page, History of Spanish Fort, Alabama. And so we didn't need no HOA. The garden club was the HOA. And so I think this garden club dried up sometime around the mid or late 80s. Now the city of Spanish Fort is picked up, and they've done a pretty good job of decorating our streets. It really looks good. And I'm glad that they're continuing this because it, kind of, especially the time we're in right now, we certainly need a little reprieve from all the drama that's going on in the background that hopefully one day we'll get to the root of, and so we can become a normal society again because, I can tell you from experience and growing up here, we never had these type of worries back then. We had problems, but not to the level that we're having today. And it just seems like we're going to have to have the right people in the right places that care enough about their country and their children to make the sort of changes so that, that all of our kids, including our grandkids, can have children that will enjoy their Christmases. But if we're going to remain to be a civilized society, we're going to have to start becoming free thinkers and start reading between the lines, because the best lies have some truth to them. But anyway, I wanted to make this a short episode about Christmas. But I hope that all of you have a Merry Christmas. And I've got some really good stories coming up for 2024. I've got another channel I put all these home preservation topics on called Building Science. So if you want to save some money, go and subscribe to Building Science, because it's specifically geared to just our houses here in South Alabama. And I have a few other channels as well if you like good music. I call it from the 70s and 60s for tribute bands that's taken the place of a lot of the artists we grew up with. Subscribe to or like the Facebook page, History of Spanish Fort Alabama. I also have a Facebook page called Southern Home Talk, where I put articles there. And I also convert 8mm Super 8 film, and so if you have any of that, I can convert it for you. I'm also looking for it as well. I do want to appreciate everyone that's become part of this. I'm non-monetized, and so my payment is leaving your comments and liking it and sharing these videos as I put them out. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of y'all in 2024. Have a great holiday season, great Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year too. Peace.